Hey guys, Levi Gates, and welcome back to DeTalks. With me, Mr. Matt Mormon from Obsessed Garage, hanging out on the couch upstairs here at the Rag Company. Thought we'd do something different.
Yeah, I like this.
A little more relaxed, a little chill.
Why is it we're on the couch? Is it because you've got too many projects going on downstairs?
Yeah, well, some dude bought like 12,000 towels, and we've got pallets everywhere, so. No, basically, we just thought we'd mix it up. We've been doing videos of us in different spots, and so we thought, why not roll out the red carpet for you, or the leather couch.
I like it.
So, one thing that I wanted to mention to folks, if you haven't heard, but Obsessed Garage is kind of taking over the detail industry.
I don't know about that, but
it's influencing
a little
the detail
corner,
industry. Yeah,
hopefully we're influencing somebody.
Well, and it's enough that, like we said in the last one, you've created a very high level group of DIY guys and enthusiasts, guys that are home hobbyists, but they have, pretty good chops.
Yeah, we're gathering up we call it the prosumer.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's a good word, prosumer.
I do have a lot of professional detailers that follow as well, of different levels, whether they're following to make fun of me or they're following because they're new to it and they're learning, and because I am so product focused.
Yeah.
Right. I'm process. To me, process is more important, but I like the products, and so that's what I focus on a lot.
Well, and there is that struggle where some guys don't understand the necessity to put a bunch of time into their own personal car. Like some guys will go, I keep let's say this, like my wife always had a joke, the cobbler's kids have no shoes. Her car was always filthy because that was the last thing I wanted to do.
Right.
After I was done at work, leaving my shop, just come home and clean my wife's car. And
when people would have an expectation of you that you're,
that my cars must be, and that's not always the case. And it's but I keep my stuff nice, and I keep it at a higher level than most customers and people. I may have the ability to put more hours into it and do more things with it. Mm-hmm. And in my group of people, of friends and stuff, I am the obsessed one, in the sense that, like, they look at my car and go, wow, I don't know how you keep it that clean. I wash it once a week. Mm-hmm. That's all I do with O&R in my garage. That's it. Mm-hmm. But to other people that just get busy with life and all that, so for me it's not as big of a necessity, but there are guys that are OGers that
I think it comes down to value.
Take it to that
what do you value?
higher level.
How much do you value a clean car?
Exactly.
And some people would be willing to invest the time every other day.
Yeah.
And I think it also depends on climate.
That too.
I would be much more inclined to wash my car. I would probably wash it more often or maintain it more. If Florida, the difficulty is, you would think Florida, nice weather. Well, it rains every day and it's bug crazy, and so you wash it and you drive down to the grocery store and it's dirty again.
Yeah, and we noticed that when we came down to visit you. We were surprised how.
So unless I was going to wash it every day, I mean, the car is. People would expect my car to be dialed in at all times, but it's largely much more often not than it is.
Well, and here in the desert, we can go, a week, sometimes 2 weeks, if we don't have any rain and it's just dust and the car stays, it's just hitting the roads.
Yeah, and you could do a simple O&R wipe down where I'm going to have to do a full debugging of the darn thing.
Yeah.
So it depends on climate. Obviously, if you're in the Northeast and it's snowing, then you're going to have salt and issues in the winter and things like that. Yeah. So. But
you've created this level where guys have been able to, you've been able to debunk products, so to speak, in the sense that what works for a home hobbyist that can work, but it also allows the pro guys to kind of see and go, oh.
Well, I'm a realist.
They kind of think that they can get a review of a product, basically.
And that's the big question: is what am I? I'm not a professional.
Yeah. But you have attended some trainings, professional trainings.
Yes. I think I could become one if I wanted to. But I actually I'm offended by very few things in this world. But if you call me a hobbyist, that offends me.
Yeah.
Right. Because to me, a hobby is lazy. To me, a hobby is something you do that you kind of like, but you don't care all that much about. You're nonchalant about it, and I think anyone would argue that's I'm pretty serious about it.
Yeah.
So I'm in this weird little purgatory of not a hobbyist, but not a pro. So what the heck am I doing? I'm still trying to figure that out.
Well, you're an enthusiast
Right. So when there's
on a higher level.
Well, there's a common question that people have for me to say, well, what business do you have to tell me what detail spray to use, or what coating to use, or why? Or actually, it's more often somebody is taking my advice, and then somebody else is questioning why their sanity. Why are you watching this YouTube guy who is who has no business telling you what to use?
Well, and it also, there's a lot of people that just don't understand the difference between trying to run a business and doing it for yourself at home. There's two totally different levels. One is motivated by profit, because as a business, you have to be able to pay the bills. You have to be able to pay your employees. You have to be able to control your chemical costs. You have to be able to do all these different factors. So it is going to be completely different than if you're home and this is something that maybe relaxes you, something that can clear your mind. You can it's almost meditative, where you can just go out and wash your car, kind of reset. But also maybe it's something that you really enjoy. This is what this is why you like caring for this vehicle that you have, or motorcycle, or whatever you've got. This is, you spent the money on this. This is your investment. You want to keep it nice. This is actively working towards that. So it's, the money issue is not the same.
Yeah, and the unique spot. Like I look at like you guys, and then like I'll look at other professionals or retail organizations or manufacturers of products, and my following has become so much bigger, and I'm like, why the heck is that? You guys, I would argue your content is way better than mine is. It's much better produced. The quality is better. You guys have a whole team of people that are producing amazing content, but I have a unique position in that I don't work for a specific company, right? And so that's been the real advantage that I've been able to have, in that I have been trained. I've gone to Esoterics training. I've gone to Optimum's training. I've been out to Rupes and been trained under Jason Rose. I've had Jason Kilmer and Andy Ward, KXK Dynamics, teach me. Plus just years and years and years of reading and testing and trying. And I've had I've had fortunate circumstances in my life, and then I had a good career, a good job. And so I'm able to buy and try things and throw things away or give things away that even a lot of pros don't have the opportunity to do.
Right.
And so that's given me some experience, so that I'm not just I'm not approaching it from an angle of, hey, I'm the manufacturer. No matter how benevolent you are, people are going to have a hard time believing you. Yeah. Right. Whereas me, I think the lucky circumstances and that means and a insatiable appetite for knowledge and wanting to know what's better, and it actually stresses me out that, like, you guys showed me a product that the P&S stuff have never even walked into their booth. It's like there's so much stuff out there to try, and what I'm hoping to do is be able to curate and create at least, like, I don't know if it's the best stuff that I'm using. I don't know if it's the best process that I'm using. Yeah. But it's at least better than you just going online and figuring it out from scratch.
Well, and what I like is, like you were saying, like we were talking earlier, you give, because you do sell stuff online, you sell your packages, but you get them as close to, you give them support by allowing them to see a video of a product that you're using. You're giving them a demonstration on how to use it, or they can see it in action, and you're getting them as close to the point of purchase of them seeing it and touching it themselves.
Well, the big advantage I have now is I've been given access. I've come here. I've been to Rupes. I've been to Optimum. I'm going to probably go everywhere. I'm going to try to. And so now it's not just buying and trying. It's actually buying, trying, and then going and seeing how it's done, how it's made, where it comes from, learning from the people that are the true experts, so that I can hopefully become an expert. Yeah. And I don't like, I'm not a huge fan of titling videos how to, or I hope I don't do this, but I don't ever classify myself as an expert. I let the markets decide that. But I think in order to really have a curated good grouping of or a good process, right? And that process is made up of products and detailing or garage design or flooring. I think in order to really become an expert in that, or at least chase expertise, I think I have to go and learn more and more and more, and
that's
never,
the key. It's
never
just,
quit, right?
Yeah, you have that open mind and that thirst to want to learn everything.
So the access now that I've been given, combined with the means to be able to buy and try, and then I've been doing this for 20 years, even just as a hobbyist, it's given, at least I'm giving myself permission to do it. We'll see who wants to follow that, but I've given myself permission to say, okay, this is the wax, this is the coating, this is the process that I've pulled from all different places, because I have found that my grouping of people, the people that are watching, Obsessed Garage, the tendency is to, like, very few people just do what I say.
Yeah.
They take from different places and then they curate their own process.
Right.
And I like to think that that's what I've done by going to different places. Like, I didn't go to Optimum and I'm just doing it the way they say to do it, but I'm pulling different things from, I've been to Auto Geeks, been trained under Mike Phillips, and learning all these different processes and then putting it together. So Obsessed Garage is I'm taking and curating that and putting that information out there and giving people an option.
Yeah.
To say, okay, I'm going to take and pull from these
based on my experience and my knowledge and my,
I mean, there's certain things that I really dislike that others love.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of the Master Blaster.
Yeah.
The product works great. I just didn't like dragging it around. But yet I'm willing to go out and drag my pressure washer around. Yeah. So everybody has different experiences.
That's how we joke. We said we make 150 different types of microfiber because some people just don't like. They're like, I don't like this towel. Okay, well, if we only made that one towel, that would be really hard to make business out of it. So we have all these different ones where we can go like, well, maybe you like this or maybe you like that, and maybe whatever works best for you will work itself out. And that's kind of what you've done, is you've taken all these different things, distilled them down into a workable package, and then you've put that for sale so that people can kind of have to deal
I've
with
really
that.
struggled with the insecurity of what the heck am I doing here?
Yeah.
What am I doing? I mean, I'm not a professional detailer. I've only detailed maybe 2 friends' cars ever, but only my own cars.
Yeah.
And I've probably done more polishing on test hoods than I've done on actual cars, right?
Yeah.
Now I probably have 3,000 or 4,000 hours under a polisher, so I've done a lot. But you probably have 15,000 or 20,000 hours under a polisher. But so there's a certain sense of insecurity in me, and that, man, I'm talking about all these products and I'm recommending this stuff and people are listening to me. But then when I get in a group of detailers, like it's a little nerve-wracking. It's like, shoot, am I misleading people?
Right.
And I think because of the willingness to go and learn from everybody, I think I've gotten over that. I've dropped some of the fear, and now there's some disruption happening in our industry because of what I'm talking about, which is crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a good thing, because it's changing. It changes the way that the companies, are structured, in the sense that they have to watch. They change the way they market the product now. They change the way that they make it more accessible to a consumer.
Well, a lot of the products that I pull out, it's like they didn't even consider.
Yeah.
For instance, this Mosmatic gun that I've sold so many of, it was just a line item in a catalog. They didn't even have any.
Yeah.
Like, they had to make me one. When I said, hey, I want to try that gun, with the integrated swivel, they're like, oh, you sure about that? I'm like, yeah. So I bought one. I had it brought over from Switzerland, and then I'm like, this thing is amazing. And I asked them, can you make 15 of them? I'd like to sell them. Of course, they said no. And then I told this story a bunch. And then eventually I got them to make 15 of them, and then we sold 200 of them, and it took them months and months and months to make it. And so a lot of what really excites me is finding that product that is great, that we're taking from the professional realm, whether it's professional detailing or professional garage or professional air compressing.
Yeah, because you're doing flooring, you're doing cabinetry, you're doing lighting, you're doing
pulling from professional grade products and then adapting it to whatever it is we want to use it for is what really gets me excited.
Yeah.
And what I have found, luckily for me, is that most of these manufacturers, that especially the higher the engineering, more highly engineered, a lot of times they spend all of they become very one-sided, and they're very good at the product, which I'm happy for, but then the difficulty is getting that product information out there.
Yeah.
And so that's what Obsessed Garage has become. It's become a lightning rod, or become a pulpit to go out and speak to the virtues of products that otherwise get left to door-to-door sales or door-to-door industry sales.
Right. Yeah.
That we that a lot of times they don't believe that people would be willing to pay for it.
Well, and I think you've reached that unique in the sense that the people that do follow you and watch you are that higher echelon of professional folks, where they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're engineers, they've got money, but they don't really have direction, and yet you provide that.
Yeah, that's the ideal.
Give them that direction.
I think that's everybody's ideal customer, someone who's discerning but doesn't have the time, energy, or values. They value the product, but they don't value the amount of effort. Like, for instance, I have my $345 bucket package that I take a lot of heat over.
Yeah.
At one point, I bought 27 buckets, and I had them strewn across my floor. I mean, I literally just went to every place I could figure out, find locally, online, overseas, and I bought every bucket that looked interesting, and I laid them out on my floor. So I probably spent $2,000 or $3,000 over the years trying to find a bucket system.
Yeah, and people don't understand this, but buckets are very different.
Yeah.
Each one, I mean, we did that. We carry a bucket that we sell here, and it's one of those things where we wanted them we noticed more and more were oval.
Right.
You don't realize that.
Yeah, or the locking thing would cave it in. There's all kinds of things, and I don't even know if my bucket package is the best, but it's good and it's been vetted.
Yeah.
And so I'm spending a lot of time and energy. I was doing this already.
Yeah.
I've been doing this my whole life, and so YouTube is giving me the platform, and social media is giving me the platform to throw it out there and see if anybody cares.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to check out more, go to obsessedgarage.com. Check out Matt's store. You can watch the videos, Obsessed Garage on YouTube, and check out the Facebook group and Facebook page, Obsessed Garage. And Matt, dude, thanks for coming out here, brother.
Yeah, brother. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.